Look, Ryan Garcia he's not a fighter. He's a celebrity. And Hollywood will have their way with him. It's sad because there's nobody there that's close to him that's going to tell him the truth and that can help guide him. You know, he knows he's doing wrong because that's the reason why he's always bringing up God. I think he's crying out for help, people. I really do. I think he's crying out for help because he really doesn't want to do this. He just wants the money and he loves the celebrity lifestyle, but he really doesn't want to box.
Welcome everyone to Deep Waters. The words of ESPN analyst, Hall of Famer Tim Bradley here on ProBox TV, your boxing channel. George DeMatteis alongside our champions here, Paulie Malignaggi, Chris Algieri, and also Emmy Award winner George Jakovic, as well as Ryan Garcia. He might be losing it, to put it nicely there. And it's interesting because he's just over a month away from his fight against Devin Haney, ironically, on 420. We'll get deeper into that here on Deep Waters. But George, it is fascinating what's going on with Ryan Garcia, even if it's tragic, because it looks like mentally he's going downhill for sure.
Yeah, George, and this could be heartbreaking. Tim, try to put this all in perspective. Things really went downhill last week. They had two press conferences, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. After the first press conference, Ryan Garcia was on social media. He was high. He admitted he was high. That caused a big uproar for the second press conference, and Devin Haney went in on Ryan Garcia, and Garcia just appeared to lose it. I mean, he really appeared to lose it. Since then, if you follow his social media, it's been utterly bizarre. And the last social media post talked about someone. It made it seem like someone hacked his account. It said that they killed Ryan Garcia and they'll never find the body, and it's been silent since. So his mindset, Tim, I can't believe they haven't canceled the fight, but his mindset seems to be bizarre, to say the least.
Look, we can go back to when he had anxiety and, he was openly talking about he was, depressed a year, maybe 2 years ago. Not sure the timeline there, but, I think this it's definitely taken over his mind. I know you can tell by his voice, the way he's talking, he's nervous. You can feel the anxiety in his speech. Because again, he doesn't really want to do this. He enjoys the money part of it. He makes a ton of money outside of boxing. He really doesn't have to do this, but he seems to be forced to do it. And as long as what do I want to say? How do I want to say this? As long as he continues to fight and continues to drink, smoke, and do all the things he admitted to, he's not going to be successful, guys. He's not. I mean, he's headed down the wrong path, I feel, deep down in my heart. It's almost sad. I remember a few weeks ago, he had some beef with me saying that he belonged in the zoo. I wasn't calling him an animal. What I was saying is that he was an exhibit in the zoo, and people are watching him. All eyes are on him. That's what I meant by that statement. It wasn't the fact that I was calling him an animal. I was like, dude, you're an exhibit. Like, look at you. Look at what you're doing. Look at all the things that you're doing. Look at all the choices you're making. You're a clown. You're a show. Like you belong in the zoo at the end of the day. But this fight may not happen. I agree with the panel. I don't think this fight will happen. I'm hearing several dates. He wants to go May 5th. It's a month away right now, and he seems to be stuck on that. I mean, I look at his face, I look at his physique. He doesn't seem like he's training. You're smoking marijuana during training camp, a month out. You're drinking during training camp. How serious are you? He's going to wind up getting seriously hurt if he continues to act in this fashion. But those are my thoughts about the situation, man, that Ryan's in.
Well, Paulie and Chris, but before we get to you guys, we do have a clip. It's a pretty long clip from the last press conference, and this was when he really started to just seem to fall apart. But we've got a clip right here from the second Haney Garcia press conference.
You know, I want to clarify some
Stop
things.
the coke. Turn up your voice.
I want to clarify some things. I don't do cocaine. I would do a live drug test.
What do you do?
I would do a
What do you
live
do?
drug test.
What do you do?
I drink and I smoke weed, and so has the majority of this room. So has the majority of this room.
What kind of example are you for the younger generation watching this? Talking about you drinking, you smoke weed,
Weed is legal,
making
bro.
that cool.
Bro,
The younger generation look up to us. What are you talking about? Why are you
Weed's
trying
fire.
to publicize you drink? Whatever you do behind closed
I don't know
doors,
what
you do
he's
behind
talking
closed
about.
doors.
Anyways,
But why are
at the
you
end
trying
of
to?
the
It's
day-
young kids.
Hey.
It's young kids watching us. It's young kid watching us.
Mom, you good, Mom? Thank you.
Over these last, few days, I lost a lot of respect for him because, one, we have a fight. The world is tuning in. So look how much media here. Look how many people are here to watch us. So it's like I'm a true professional. I try to be professional in everything I do. On the other hand, we got this guy who's doing the complete opposite.
You finally got somebody raising your hand saying, I'm real. I'm like this. I do drink. I do smoke. Now what? It's okay. Guess what? We all have our flaws and we all evolve as people. Look at, I'm 25 years old. You gotta remember, the weight of the world sometimes feels like it's on my shoulders. I don't know how many people have been 25 years old and made $100 million in their life and can do whatever they want. I want to see what you would do in my shoes.
Like I said, I'm happy to be here. I worked so hard to get here. I sacrificed a lot to be here. And at the end of the day, on April 20th, the world will see. My hard work will pay off. And we getting this guy out of boxing. He's a clown. Him and his family. Hey Ryan, you're not gonna pull out though. Do we need Arnold Barbosa for the backup opponent, or are you gonna show up on April 20th?
Barclay, April 20th. Are you going to be there?
No comment.
Back up. You're in the shot. Back up. You're in the shot. You're in the shot. We need a shot. We need build a shot.
Yeah. Look around.
He broke down, buddy. He better fuck.
Get out of here.
Scary.
Well, Paulie, that was the scene at the press conference last week, and things have just gotten worse. But your thoughts on Ryan Garcia?
I think the first thing I want to address is what did you say, George, before him talked is heartbreaking or breaks or something to that degree?
Well, we don't want it to turn into a heartbreaking because it seems like it's
all right. Well,
evolving.
here's my thoughts on that first and foremost. The more you sympathize with people like this, the more they're gonna play the victim card. All right. So I'm not sympathizing with anything. All right, bro. Like this kid said, he made $100 million and all this other stuff. Obviously, money doesn't buy happiness. So anybody who's going the route, because Tim even said something that probably all the groupies in the comments are gonna jump on. He's not successful because of the way he is, and people are gonna say, oh, he made all this money. Dude, money is a part of success. It doesn't define the success. As long as you have enough money to pay bills, that's all you need. Okay. Now having more is nice, but that doesn't define success when you're falling apart like this because you don't know what to do to keep the attention on you. Okay. This kid lives off of people sympathizing off him. Remember a few years back he pulled out of a fight because he was quote unquote mental health, and then he's at the Mayweather versus Logan Paul press conference in Miami 2 days later, jumping around in among that beef that ended up happening at the Miami Dolphin Stadium a couple of years back when a couple of days ago he was pulling out of a fight for mental health reasons. This kid lives off people sympathizing off him. This is the beta generation definition here, okay, where people go off of the feel bad for me, I'm a victim card no matter what. You can get people who will literally have it bad who play this card, and also people who have it very good play this card. Everybody's playing this card. It's just a cool thing to do, okay? I'm not sympathizing with anything. Nothing's heartbreaking here. He's making conscious decisions. He's a 25-year-old guy. guy. He's making conscious decisions. Yes, he's got money. You can choose what to do with that money. You can go in a lot of different directions. Like Devin Haney said, you can also be a role model for people. People look up to these kind of people on this level, especially in today's generation where as long as people are on social media a lot, they'll look up to any idiot, okay? So I'm not sympathizing with any of this. Nothing's heartbreaking about this. This is a guy who's choosing to do this himself. And the more you sympathize with it, the more we say it's heartbreaking, the more he's gonna do this because he realizes all these suckers are falling for it. I'm not falling for this, all right, bro? I'm coming from a generation where I've seen people bust their ass to make this kind of money and still won't make this kind of money, okay? And they'll make a lot better decisions if they get this kind of situation where they can springboard themselves into a positive situation. He himself continues to play this role. And then what is it with all this Jesus stuff he keeps playing? And then he's posting about slitting throats and satanic stuff and everything. Bro, Jesus ain't on your side. Jesus ain't on your side if you're choosing this route to go with, okay? Saying Jesus is in your life, saying Jesus is in your life, okay? Jesus in your life is not something you just utter, okay? It takes actions, okay? Faith without works is dead, okay? That's in the Bible, all right? So the whole Jesus in my life, as you cover it up while you're posting satanic stuff, and then his father saying, oh, he's just doing that because he's promoting the fight. Bro, of all ways to promote the fight, there are so many ways to promote the fight, even outlandish ways. Of all ways, you choose Satan's cut in my throat or whatever the hell he posted there. Are you out of your mind? What kind of drugs you got to be on? And speaking of that, why answer the question in that way? Just say, I don't do anything. That's it. Even if you do something, just say, I don't do anything. I remember Britney Spears said she was a virgin until she was 20 years old. You think the freaking girl was a virgin? Come on, bro. You know what I mean? Like, bro, play the role already. Learn how to play the role the right way, at least then.
Talking about promoting the fight. This fight's not happening, guys. The fight is over.
One more thing, champ. One more thing about, oh, I'm a real one. You ain't a real one, bro. Like, the guys have come around before you that were real ones. Mike Tyson was a real one. Bro, I was a real one. I got myself canceled several times for being a real one, all right? This ain't real one. This is weird. This is like, I want to be the victim, and I hope everybody falls for it. And you know what? A lot of people do.
Listen,
Paulie, I'll say one thing, Chris, before you go. I wasn't saying we should sympathize with him. I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist. What I'm saying is I hope it doesn't turn out the worst way it could turn out. But I agree with you, Paulie. This guy's a multi-millionaire, and I'm not saying he deserves sympathy.
But here's the thing. If people piggyback off this, he will keep doing it. If everybody would just call him out on it, he would realize, okay, this is not working. Let me go a different route, maybe a more positive route or whatnot. Go ahead, Jim.
All right, there's no sympathy in this panel here. You got a bunch of world champions here talking. We got a kid who's never won a world title and probably never will. And the way that he's acting is absolutely insane. I mean, listen, this fight ain't happening. The reason is he's breaking. The pressure of this fight is breaking. You said after the first press conference, George, that that's when things went off the wall. Yeah, because it became real. He stood in front of the man, realized that Devin Haney was going to whoop his ass because he's serious and he's in shape and he's coming to bring it. And you see who's wearing that Grim Reaper outfit? That's what he looked like to me. He's coming to take heads. This fight is not happening. Ryan wants nothing to do with this. Why do people use substances? Why do people use substances? Because they don't want to deal with reality. He showed up to that press conference high as hell, drunk as hell. You could see it in his eyes. You could see the dimness in his light. That wasn't there. He didn't want to be there. He did not want to stand in front of Devin Haney again. He already stood in front of that guy, the Grim Reaper, who he dressed up as in the second, which is brilliant. But listen, I feel bad for Devin Haney because he's pushing this too hard. He's got this fight out the way. He was smart to call about the Barboza, but I mean, listen, this fight is not happening. Ryan does not want to be here. He's using substances to get away from reality. The reality is Devin Haney's going to whoop his ass in this fight.
But that's also. Go ahead, Jim.
Look, when do you call on God the most? When you need him the most, right? When you need him, right? That's exactly what I'm witnessing right here with Ryan Garcia.
Bro, he made like he got baptized in the water like 2 years ago before all this. Now, you know, he made like that was a life-changing experience 2 years ago. He's only gone backwards since, not forwards. Okay, that shows you God ain't in his life. He's gone backwards, not forwards since that whole announcement that he dedicated his life to God. That was all press shenanigans. That was all internet shenanigans. None of that is actually real for him, okay? But I'll tell you what, we're all talking about Ryan Garcia. The professionalism of Devin Haney gets put to the test here because Devin Haney has to focus like he has a title defense on April 20th, whether he does or not. And this is not easy to focus every day in the gym in a professional manner. You can physically be there, and mentally, this kind of stuff can drain you because you don't know if this guy is going to show up for the fight or not, and you don't know if you're fighting Barboza as the backup opponent, if you're fighting Ryan Garcia, if Ryan is playing games just so you can take him lightly, and then he ends up showing up for the fight, and he's actually training. You know, I don't know anymore, man.
At this point,
this kid is off.
You talk about the professionalism of Devin Haney. I think
it's put to the test.
Yeah, absolutely. But him putting out the Barboza idea is very, very smart. Because even like you just said, he's planting the seed in his own mind. Listen, I got to fight. And Barboza's probably tougher than Ryan at this point. At this point, listen, Barboza is actually very good. He's a very, very solid guy. A lot of people may not know him at this level, but Barboza's very good. He's also really big. He's big, he's strong for the weight class, and he's coming in shape. That boy is disciplined. He's going to bring it. So listen, that's a great employ by Devin, whether that's happening or not. Business-wise, it's a good ploy because it gives another option, but also mentally, he's got to be prepared on fight night, to your point.
And Golden Boy has Barboza on the contract as well as Ryan Garcia, so it is it is a viable opportunity just to save the pay-per-view in general if Ryan Garcia continues with these shenanigans.
Well, Tim, talk about Devin Haney. And by the way, condolences to Devin Haney. He recently lost his grandmother. Bill Haney's mother and Devin Haney's grandmother was very involved in his career. So condolences to him. But talk about Devin Haney's, like the champs have talked about, Tim, the situation that he's in with this.
Look, I'm not worried about Devin Haney. Complete professional. He lives the sport. He's one of the youngest millionaires out there. Started the game, he's very young, 17 years old, fighting in Mexico. He's the total package. He's going to be focused. He's going to be ready, whether it's Ryan Garcia or Barboza. He's going to be ready for whoever steps in that ring. But, I've been looking at Devin Haney for some time now, as far as like his press conferences go. He beats his fighters similar to Ali. He beats them, and Mike Tyson even included. He beats him before he even steps foot in the ring. I mean, he digs deep and he goes for the jugular right away. And he creates that monster, in every other fighter's mind, and the fighters that he's facing in their mind. And that monster is doubt. He creates doubts because he comes with facts a lot of the times. And, you can see when he would say certain things, you see Ryan just deflating. I go back when he even fought against Lomachenko and everybody was like, what the hell is he doing pushing Lomachenko? Oh, he's getting in Lomachenko's head. I mean, he's been talking, but Lomachenko wasn't, understanding what the hell he was saying. So he pushed him to get underneath his skin. Haney has a way of going about this boxing business and beating these guys mentally before he even step foot in the ring. This is no different here. He's beating Ryan before he even step out there on that apron. Like we said, he might not even come and show up and fight. He might not, but we're gonna have to wait and see. But he's brilliant, man. He's a brilliant fighter inside the ring and also outside the ring.
Chris, I don't know if we've seen anything quite like this. A guy just go downhill that fast, but you said the timing of it was right when the reality hit, because that first press conference, it was pretty lighthearted. Devin called him a quitter, but it was a lot of lighthearted banter going back and forth. But after what happened when he got high and the second press conference was radically different, Chris. And I don't know if I've ever seen a guy just
allegedly got high, G. Allegedly got high.
No, he said he got high. It was he said he showed up high.
There was a tweet
was
actually
on social media
with joint in his mouth, saying I'm high.
I was like, he really was high.
Yeah, he really was high.
Yeah, I mean,
but Chris,
what's the question, George?
Just the fact that I don't know if we've ever seen anyone just implode like this so quickly on such a big stage.
Well, it is. Listen, look at who we're dealing with. Ryan Garcia has projected his entire life out to the public. That's what he is. He was a social media star before he was a boxing star. So his entire life, if you watch these kids these days, what they do in this generation, it's everything. It's them brushing their teeth, what they eat for breakfast, when they're doing this, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. His entire life has been for the world to see. And we're seeing him get beat up in public by Devin Haney's rhetoric, and he's breaking down. And he's showing it. He doesn't know how to hide anything. Nothing's been hidden with this guy. He is there. He's an open book. So after that first press conference, where you said things were lighthearted, they had that what I considered a very contrived meeting where they got into an argument outside of wherever. It looked fake. It looked staged. Listen, after that, Ryan started to break down mentally, and he's starting to put it out there. And now you're seeing it. He doesn't know how to hide anything. He's never hid anything his entire life. He's been completely open book, and that's what's happening here. And to your point, Tim, Devin is masterful in his trash talk and the way that he does it. Listen, I'm going to come up with a new nickname for Devin Haney. He's AI, because he takes in all the data, collects it, takes it together, thinks of the perfect way. And listen, a lot of times, I say this all the time, people's fighting styles often mimic their personality. And the way Devin is, he's very calculated in the ring. He's very calculated outside the ring. Devin Haney's new nickname in my world is AI, because he is taking in all the data. He's picking out the perfect little options, boom, 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 boom. And he's been able to break Ryan down that way. So much so, like I said, I'm saying it again, I don't think this fight happens, especially not in 2 months.
Well, Paulie, before it really went off the rails on Sunday with social media, Ryan had posted sparring footage of Tank and Devin was like 16. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I think he was posting that to throw shade at Haney, but I don't think it worked.
Yeah, I mean, I think because Bill Haney said something about Floyd recently, so I'm assuming it was Floyd that got that footage out to Ryan Garcia, because we know they kind of have a quote-unquote friendship there. I think Bill Haney, that's the thing about the AI thing, you know what I mean? They overdo it too, you know? Like, Bill Haney made like Devin was the reason Floyd retired, you know? And that's one place I'll disagree with. The greats of yesteryear should be appreciated. We shouldn't try to trash them while we try to bring ourselves up. You know, yeah, sure, at a certain point, I mean, Floyd is going to be on the downslide. He was aging, you know, but of course, if the way Floyd aged, we should all age as gracefully as Floyd did, right? But I think that was kind of shade. Floyd throwing shade back at Devin by getting this footage to Ryan. Also, I'll be honest with my own experience. I was sparring world champions at 16, 17 years old that were getting the better of me, obviously, but within a few years, I was getting the better of them, you know, so in the gym. So, I mean, you know, that kind of footage, I would think it's expected, you know. I mean, Gervonta was at a higher place in his career at that point. Devin was a promising young prospect in the amateurs. To tell you the truth, or even early pro, to tell you the truth, I mean, I don't see anything damaging about that if you know what you're watching. Yeah, sure, the internet trolls, bro, I've experienced it too. You know, they see a couple of punches landed from a sparring session, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, you got your butt whipped, and you got stopped in a sparring session. You know, it's all par for the course. That doesn't mean anything to me now. You know, matter of fact, stylistically, I think Devin actually matches up well with Gervonta if they would ever fight. But now, but at that point, I mean, that doesn't really do anything for him. But yeah, it's throwing shade. But then you throw shade, but then you get back to LA and you contact your dealer and you show up to the press conference, quote unquote, high, right? So, I mean, who really got the better of that verbal joust? To me, Devin still won the verbal jousting regardless.
Look, man, I hate this sparring session. This new generation, man, they have no damn code whatsoever. All this sparring session shit, all this sparring session talk, excuse my French, man, because it pisses me off. It's sparring. You're practicing. You're working on stuff. Come on, man. And it happened years ago, too.
It happened a decade ago.
Check this out. It was so easy for you, Tank Davis and Tank Davis fans, why didn't you sign on a contract to face Devin Haney? If it was that easy, think about that. People need to think, man, and use their damn brain, bro.
No,
why do you think he's not going to get in the ring?
Look at what it does with the sparring session. Gervonta did it with Ivan Redkach a few years ago. Conor McGregor did it with me, and I smacked him all over the place the whole sparring session. The people still bought it. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's the same thing. You know, if people really make it that easy and it's easy money, why don't they go for the fight? Of course, but you know, you also got to understand what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with probably the dumbest generation the human race has ever produced. You know, because you're everywhere you go, you got something thinking for you. The computer thinks for you. The Instagram thinks for you. The social media thinks for you. The entertainment system thinks for you. People don't really have their own thoughts. Aren't comprehending how to bring a generalized thought to themselves in an intelligent way anymore. So you know what? These kind of things work. That's why Ryan went and tried it.
Well, let's also remember, Devin Haney did that quite a bit coming up as well. He became very, very popular by posting sparring sessions all the time, of him whooping guys' asses that didn't even belong in the ring with him. They were posting that all the time. So Devin's not free and clear of using sparring session video, which I agree with you, Tim. We never did that. That was something that was really frowned upon back in the day. Most trainers, I remember back in the day, wouldn't even allow videoing of sparring sessions. And if it got out, forget it. You're blackballed for sparring wherever you went. And I'm the guy, we always joke, I spar with everybody. I did. And I got a lot of video of a lot of very good fighters of me whooping their asses that'll never see the light of day. But it is what it is, man. It's sparring. But Devin's not clear of that either. He's posted a lot of sparring coming up on his way up and became very popular because of that. Ryan, too, and Gervonta. It's just this generation. It's a very different world these days now with social media than it was when we all came up. I think it's just a sign of the times. I don't like it either, Tim. I hate it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, everybody's filming everything because it's so easy with the phones now. I mean, and to your point, Paulie, I mean, now you don't even have to spell. You just type in 3 letters and it does the rest of the words for you there on social media, and everybody's recording everything on their phone nowadays. Don't forget, March 13th, Wednesday night fights here on ProBox TV, your boxing channel. Like and subscribe on our YouTube channel as well. This is Deep Waters here on ProBox TV, your boxing channel.